Hi, my name is Courtney Ryan. Today's date is May 20th, 2026. It is a Wednesday at 12:41 p.m. I am doing this as a record to my neighbor, Lloyd Parker Kenneth Lloyd. He is my neighbor. For the past 6 years, we have had nothing but issues, multiple calls for service, etc. No contact orders, no trespassing, multiple occasions. Animal control has been involved. Death of animals have occurred, and almost the death of his wife has occurred. Monday, May the 18th, I was in court in Cleveland County, North Carolina. I sat in court all day long with my 17-year-old autistic daughter as well. We sat in court for 8 hours with our perpetrator that has made fun of us, flipped us off that same day at court, said some other choice words to my daughter after court, and it made a mockery out of the system. This Monday, we were going for stalking, because in January, he decided to walk down the road with a set of binoculars, looking into my property, supposedly looking for a cat. Okay? Well, and I own 2 of his old goats, but they still know him, and they know that they used to belong there. And he has tried on multiple occasions to get them to cross the fence. On that day, he was talking to them as well in January 2026 to entice them. He was just talking to them. But the key thing here is, on that day, he said he was looking for a missing kitten. Okay? Well, in 2023, 2024, the Christmas thereof, that's when I was a 911 caller to his attempted murder of his wife. I was a 911 caller. I watched everything that happened, and the animals also got taken. During all this. So the animals got put in my care. I made Cleveland County Sheriff's Department, the animal control, I made them put it all in it was supposed to be all documented, because they had a no trespassing order against me, I had a no trespassing order against them, but there was also over 150 animals on their property that needed care right then and there. And per Cleveland County Animal Control that was dispatched that night and that day, they said that they didn't have the ability to care for them, and they begged me to keep and to secure and take care of said animals. So therefore, when I did that, they contacted Parker in the jail. They contacted Elise's father. It was all documented and was supposed to be documented with animal control. But animal control does not share their documents with the sheriff's department. I was also told, due to the severity of the neglect of the case, where dead animals were left all around, no food, no water, no access to anything. There was over 100 ducks, 7 pigs in an 8x10 cage. There was a dog named Bear who constantly got off because he was starving. The ducks were, they could not keep them contained. The pigs, they could not keep contained either. There's multiple animal control calls through over the years. But when everything finally escalated and they lost the animals, I was told via a Cleveland County deputy and animal control supervisor that they were not allowed to own any more animals inside Cleveland County, since it was a case of neglect. So, when he told the officers this year in January that he was looking for a missing kitten, he wasn't even supposed to own or possess another animal. So Monday, when I went to court and I used that as my testimony, I was made to look like a fool, because Cleveland County Animal Control and Cleveland County Sheriff's Department don't share records. Per them. They don't share records, and that's per them. That's out straight out of their mouths. They don't share records. They can't see anything that happens. So the DA is never made aware until they want to make the DA aware. Like, the DA right now has no idea about this animal cruelty case, is what I'm being told. So I am putting together a packet to take to the DA and show them the history of these folks and these people and why they weren't supposed to have an animal to begin with. And him being able to use that defense, and the state's attorney not being able to back me up with any evidence because Cleveland County Animal Control didn't document it. Also, back then, I had to end up calling a county commissioner, I cannot remember whom, and I had to call him and explain the situation to make Animal Control finally help me rehome the rest of the animals. I was trying to rehome animals back in 2023, 2024 at Christmas, the week of Christmas, and sub-zero temperatures, wind chills in the negatives, with animals that had 0 to no heat, and they had no heat. Nobody to go get them food. Nobody to do any of that. I said I would help, and I would do as long as they would help me. That wasn't the case at all. And it was never documented properly that they weren't supposed to have animals anymore. And I sat in court Monday 8 hours and got made to look like a fool, when in all reality I've done everything Cleveland County has ever asked of me. I've went above and beyond. The officers of Cleveland County that have served this case and know this ongoing issue have done everything they can do. But here's the problem. The problem is our local cops and the guys on the ground can only do so much. They can only do what they can do. They cannot do any more or any less. But it's a crying shame when now I'm having to go back, request all of these records from the police department, the sheriff's department, and animal control. I'm having to request all these documents to prove that I was told they weren't supposed to own animals again, because they didn't do their due diligence. But us as taxpayers, if we don't do our due diligence on their timeline to their exact time, what happens to us? What happens to the taxpayer when we don't do as we're told by a said date? What happens? What happens in any circumstance? What happens? We get held accountable. The county, the state holds us accountable. They will make sure of it. This man has been run out of Florida. He has been run out of Georgia. And he is now, still, 2 years later, free in Cleveland County. And he's violated a no contact order on his wife, who he tried to kill twice. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what else more to do but to make this video. I did not want to make said video. I didn't. I put in a FOIA request for animal control in Cleveland County, And like I said, I've done all that. I am waiting to get the return from that. I've called animal control and asked for the records. I was told that I could not get them via talking to anyone, and that I could not talk to anyone, that I had to do a records request. So that's what I have done. I have contacted the DA's office. I have contacted the sheriff's office. I have contacted multiple people. Also Johnny Hutchins I have contacted. This has got to stop. And when a repeat offender is allowed to commit ongoing violence toward women and he not be held accountable, that's a problem. And also, he's still on bond as well. He's still out on bond. And he's always late to court. Monday he was exceptionally late. He didn't show up till almost 10 o'clock. He will get FTAs. He wastes time. This case, like I said, it goes back years. It goes back to 2022. And it involves multiple layers and repeated activities of their choosing. And she has left now. She has been gone a year. But at the wife, she finally said enough was enough after she lost her children. And has almost a year sober, and I'm so proud of her. But the problem is that things are being allowed to happen, and injustices are allowed to be able to happen, and it shouldn't be. We wasted taxpayer money Monday when, in all reality, it was a documentational error and a lack of communication between two services that are sworn to serve their county, and that's a problem. And I feel that this problem is happening more and more every day. That's why citizens feel so helpless. We're not allowed to connect the dots either in court. I tried to connect the dots in court Monday. I was told that nothing had nothing to do with the other. But here's the funny thing that I fail to understand on that logic. When we are held accountable in the court of law, when we go up, like say you got a traffic ticket, well, what happens when you go up to the judge? What do they read? Don't they read your history and call you what levels you are? I mean, don't they? I mean, it's 2026. Monday, I heard them pull records from 2007 on somebody. Over 20 years. Okay? If they want to hold us accountable when it's they're doing so, well, it's going to happen. And they can hold anything against us. The system can. But we as citizens can't hold a paper trail against anybody else and be allowed to use that in court. To me, it only seems like the state's able to do that. And that's also another problem. If you stayed this long, I greatly appreciate it. I am going to publish this because I feel people need to be made aware. I have made multiple videos over the years of this issue. It's never gotten better. Now it's affecting health, mental health. It's affecting, it has always, but it's getting to the point people can't sleep. We're in fear of our lives. A ticking time bomb eventually goes off when they don't get their way. And I'm really scared of the outcome because at the end of the day, he's already tried to kill somebody. And including taking a knife after my own daughter, which I couldn't have any justice for either because he had a very expensive attorney in Cleveland County. And I was pretty much told that I needed to sweep it underneath the rug. So, I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. You take it as you want it, but I'm tired of the injustices, and I'm tired of the citizens trying to do it the right way, being crapped upon. And that's all I have to say, and I hope all y'all have an amazing day. Thank you for all you have done and all you have helped me with. Knowledge is power, and power is knowledge. And what's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. And Sometimes to right wrongs is very hard, but I'm telling you, we have a system that makes it damn near impossible. I love y'all guys. Peace.